What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Hasbro Transformers Age of the Primes G2 Snarl and Slag. Or they call him Slug now. These were sent to me by Dr. Diecast. Thanks for letting me take a look at your copies. He's big into G2 stuff. And so far we've gotten just the G2 Grimlock, the one in blue, and now we're getting these two. It sounds like they're going to complete the whole set, which is kind of cool. So these came as a pair. I think it was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. And I'll just review them both. I have reviewed the original G1 mold of these guys before, but let's take a look. Actually, I think I missed one figure. Maybe it was this one. Maybe it was Snarl. But one of the original Dinobots I kind of missed. It's got some really nice detail. Silver on the head, on the face. Red for the eyes. Nice silver and red Autobot logo there. Red paint, or blue paint, red, yellow, and silver. Nice shiny gold for the spikes. I'm not sure if this is paint or not. I think it is. Might be just plastic color, but it looks good. These were bent out of the box, just FYI. Because of the way they package them, they are like sitting bent. So you just got to kind of like work them around. They should get back to a position, or you can heat it up. You know, that might be a better way. But I just want to mention that they were bent in the package. But overall, it's a very good looking version. Oh, some black paint here on the sides too. Let's go over his articulation. Head's on a ball joint, rotates around, forward and backward, and side to side. Arms rotate around on a ratchet joint. It's a pretty tight ratchet. Out to the side on a hinge. Rotation at the bicep. We don't get a lot of ratchets, so that's a kind of rare thing. Double jointed elbow. Do the transformation, you get the full bend. Rotation at the wrist. You have a waist rotation here. These can also be moved in and out a little bit. Legs will kick up to there on a ratchet with the hip skirts, which is my preferred way of doing it. Back to there. Out to the side. Rotation at the thigh at a cut joint. 90-degree bend at the knee. Ankle tilts out to there. And toe tilt down. Pretty nicely articulated. Let's take a look at Slug now, or Slag. I guess Slag is a bad word in the United Kingdom, so they changed his name to Slug. But to me, he'll always be called Slag. You got a black paint for the head, red for the eyes, silver for the chest with the red Autobot logo, silver for the knees, gold for the feet. You'll see more silver here in the Dino mode. Gold for the head, nice Autobot Tampo symbol there. On the back, there's a ton of paint. Black, silver, gold. We'll see that more in the Dino mode, but very good looking overall. Articulation on this guy, head is on all ball joints, so it rotates around. The panel itself goes up and down, so you can get way down, way up, and not much side to side, a little bit. Shoulders rotate around on a ratchet joint, out to the side on a hinge. There's kind of a locking point right here. Rotation at the bicep. For whatever reason, this part of the arm is a slightly different color green. I don't know why. You have a double joint elbow, full bend. Rotation at the wrist. Waist rotation, it does get a little caught up here on the tail, but it does work. You can just get that out of the way. Leg will kick up to there on a ratchet. Back to there on a ratchet. Up to the side on friction. Rotation at the thigh at a cut joint. You get past 90 degrees just due to the way this is a double jointed knee. So you get this, but then you get this lower one. So you get a double jointed knee that gets you almost a full bend, which is really cool. I like that. Actually, now that I'm looking, yeah, this is single. And we get an ankle tilt out to there. A little bit of gold paint I forgot to mention here on the inside of the legs. For the accessories, we get basically the same thing we got before. We get the sword for Snarl that'll fit in his hand like this. Or if you want, you can come to the back. There's a little peg port there. You can plug it in there. And for Slag, you get this painted silver gun. I guess it's green plastic because the handle's green. That will fit in his hand. And it looks nice. Or you can, again, plug it on the back and store it there. And I did forget to mention, the wings do articulate back and forth. And for size comparison, there they are next to the Studio Series 86 Prime. And I love that they tower over him. This is a good size. These are, leader class figures. And they're also from the Studio Series line originally. So they did a good job on them. Not a lot of waffles and kibble. But I just really love how they fit in with this particular version of Optimus Prime. All right, now let's get these guys transformed into their Dino modes. We'll start with Snarl over here. And come to the arms. We'll pull out on this Dino arm. Rotate the foot around. The hand will rotate in. This will come around. There's a peg right here and a slot right there. Peg that in. Bring the foot all the way down. And that's one foot done. And then on this side, we'll do the same thing. All right, next we'll take care of the backpack and upper body. So come to the back here, unpeg this from here. We can fold the head down into there. This will come around to the other side and it'll peg in. There's two little slots right there. It'll peg in there. We do want to lift up on this section here, so you get a little gap here, but this will plug in right there. On the back, we can close up that tail piece. Then we can rotate the arms down. Come to the waist, we're going to extend the waist down, rotate the waist 180 degrees, and then we'll take care of these legs. And like I mentioned earlier, these spikes might be bent in, so just heat it up and bend them outwards. But come to the bottom, we'll open up this back section, flip out the leg, bring it to the other side, rotate down the foot, and leave that there for now. We'll take this whole section, this will rotate inwards, and on the other side we're going to open up here, this panel, flip out your head, close that panel back up, and then bring this all the way down until it sits right here. This foot's going to end up down and inside here. So get that situated so it's inserted underneath here. And then come to the bottom here. We can close this up. That will peg in and sit like that. Bring the foot down. All right, we'll do the same thing on this side. Now that we have both legs folded over, we can peg it together. So just give it a squeeze on the top and the bottom. Make sure everything gets squeezed together. Should, peg together nicely. Then you're going to collapse the ab joint. Bring it back down. Kind of resituate these feet. And get him standing properly. And there you go. There's Snarl transformed. Let's work on Slag. You do need the gun as part of his tail, so just set that aside for now, and we'll work on this guy. So come to the arms, rotate the hands 180 degrees, push that in. Those are pretty hard to get back out, so I recommend a spudger or something to pop it back out. Or what you could do is push from here. And then rotate the arms up. Those will sit right there. We'll come to here and open up this entire panel. Bring the head down, then bring this panel up all the way so that the red panel goes up inside the top of the mouth. And then here, we're going to accordion these shoulder pieces in. And they're pretty tight, so the first time you do this, you might have a little trouble, but you want to get it all the way in like that. Same on this one, accordion this in, and make sure you're getting it all the way over so that the mane or this part is meeting up. And once you have that all the way in, close this up on the chest. Make sure these pieces get tabbed together. And then we'll come to the back and take care of this. Extend the tail out. You can just fold that over the top. Rotate your waist 180 degrees. And now we'll take care of the legs. So for the legs, come to here. We can flip open this panel. I'll show you on this one. And that'll allow you to flip the leg to the other side. Close up that panel. Come to here. We can rotate the leg up. On the bottom, you'll see there's 2 slots and a tabs for this legs to peg in there. Then we're going to bring this down. That'll just peg into the top here. The tail section, there's 2 pegs on the outside of the tail that had to go between these legs. So just sandwich in between here. And they're actually going into a slot, so make sure it lines up. And then sandwich it together, squeeze it together. For the legs, rotate this panel down, rotate the feet down. Same on this, rotate the panel, then rotate the feet. Come to the sides here, there's a tab right there and a slot right there. So bring this down and just peg that in. There we go. Same on this side. And finishing touch will come to the back. Take the gun will plug in right here underneath the tail and make up the rest of the tail. All right, there is Snarl and Slag in Dyno mode, and they look really good. The paint details I mentioned earlier definitely show up here, but we also now get red eyes, red Autobot logo on the head, black paint on the outside of the legs, black paint here on the side of the body. I've never liked the way this tail is positioned because you can't do anything. Like the legs are forever have to be tall because this tail sticks all the way down to here. But I do like the detail and the paint overall. Articulation wise, you have an opening mouth. Get you up to there. There is a little spot if you want to plug in something. No rotation or side to side. Arms rotate forward and backward on a ball joint. A little bit of in and out. Bend at the knee. Rotation here at the rear leg on a ratchet. The lower part of the leg can bend backwards, and then the toe can bend forward and backwards and rotate on a ball joint. No movement at the tail. We can take the sword if you want. There's 2 little pegs right here on the bottom and 2 slots here on the bottom of the sword. You can take this, plug this in down there, and now you've got the sword stored away and hidden. For Slag, he looks really good. Nice gold paint, red and silver. Autobot logo, silver for the mane, silver, black here, gold here, black and silver there. Gold for the tail, silver for the gun, gold up here. I mean, it's got a good amount of paint on it. You can also open up his mouth. No head movement really on this one, but there's a peg there, so if you want to plug in a blast effect, you can. The horns do have a waffle. That seems silly to me. You know, that's how much plastic are you saving with that waffle. But other than that, not much waffles, just that one part. I guess the back of the legs. But overall, I think it's pretty good looking. Front legs can rotate forward and backward on a ratchet. Lower legs can move forward and backward. Rear legs rotate here. And then the toes can rotate forward and backward. And for size comparison, there it is next to the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime's roller and drone. And I've got the Trypticon's full tilt figure just to show you with next to a Voyager. And these guys are big. Like, they are very big next to these two. So again, I'm happy with the size overall. So final recommendations on the Hasbro Transformers Age of the Primes G2 Snarl and Slag. This is a pretty darn good set. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 and recommend it. Overall, I really like the paint job on these guys. They didn't spare any paint. I mean, they could have used a little bit more. There's always could use more, but for the retail line, I think this is a good amount of paint. I like the accessories, the sword and the gun. I do wish he would come with his own gun, but I'm okay with how it looks. Overall, the look of them is pretty nice. Articulation is well done. Very little, if any, waffles on these guys and kibble. So yeah, they just they fulfill what I would think a leader class figure should be, right? It's got all the right elements, and it really stands up against other Studio Series figures, right? It lives up to the Studio Series line. I know these aren't Studio Series, but they were originally from the Studio Series line. So yeah, if you're a fan of G2, I definitely recommend these. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Dr. Diecast, and we'll see you next time.